All right, welcome on in, everyone. Hello. I kind of wish it gave a summary of what happened, but I mean, this one's not too bad. Day 2, we killed Ado. We woke up day 3, I think. To... Was Siri dead? Or did Siri die after? I don't know. We had the note on the chalkboard. And now we decide. Oh, it just jumps to it. Okay then. Leave the school. No, we can't leave the school.
Hey guys, listen. We can't listen to the message.
Why?
Ah!
The enemy could attack any day now. We can't just leave this place unprotected. Hey, didn't you come back from the future? That means you should know exactly when the enemy will attack, right? So when's the next attack? The next one is 3 days from now on day 7. And what's the big deal with leaving this place empty until then? It's just a matter of going outside the wall of fire and coming back in 3 days, right? Would be technically complying with what the message says, and the culprit wouldn't see a need to follow through with their threat. The next attack being 3 days away is what I remember from last time. But there's no guarantee the enemy will act in the same way this time. Because he may have already changed the course of history by coming back to the past. Is that what you're trying to say? I nodded. There is another thing to consider. Can we really trust the culprit to keep their word and leave the academy alone while we're gone? We're talking about someone who did something that vicious to Siri before we even saw the message. Right, Siri is dead, okay. There's no way a person like that's ever going to keep their word. Ergo, this has to be a trap. I got no clue who they could be. Only thing we can figure out is that they're an invader trying to nab the baby in the defense room while we're gone. You just said you thought it was a prank. Shut up. Things are different now that Siri's been wrecked. I personally think we should just ignore that message. That'll launch the culprit into slaughter mode, right? Now that's the kind of show I'd pay through the nose to watch. My sad excuse of an existence will surely be the first to be eliminated. Oh, I'm all for the idea, of course. After all, even the tiniest bacteria has more worth than an atomized speck of fractional dust like me. So if we take a head count, there are 6 of us who want to stay. Takumi, Takamaru, Darumi, Shoma, and the Tsukumo twin. If we're going by majority vote, those who want to remain have already won, right? Seriously, are you all out of your minds? Nobody's stopping you from going out there yourself. Outside the wall of fire? I dare say that's what the culprit's really aiming for. Once they manage to isolate someone, the real fun begins. You started shaking like a leaf. Alright, fine, just don't say I didn't warn you. In the end, we decided to ignore the message and remain at the academy. Nobody knew how the culprit would react. Just in case, we decided that everyone would move together as a unit during the day as a safety measure. As we did, the sun soon set and night approached.
You never know. Well then.
Wow, Suri's dead. Yippee! I guess the announcements must be pre-recorded, huh? Yes, Siri told me about them earlier. Nothing happened in the end. Whoever wrote that message was just bluffing. Can you make up your mind? Do you want us to take the message seriously or not? Right now, no. The situation's changed. So I'm going back to my room to hit the sack. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you just willingly trigger your own death flag? I ain't got time for this. We ain't in some freaking game or movie. But there's no denying that the person who destroyed Siri is still around. Yes, hiding somewhere in the school. Or... also possible they're hiding somewhere among us. Among Us? Play the Among Us sound. I don't know it, I haven't played Among Us in forever. Everybody abruptly stopped what they were doing after Hiroko's statement. We all glanced around, scrutinizing each other nervously. I see how it is. Safer for us all to just sleep in our own rooms, then. Well, at least that room's locked, so we don't have to worry about anyone killing him while we sleep. Hiroko was only mentioning that as a possibility. I refuse to believe the culprit could be one of us. Let's not start suspecting each other. We'd be playing directly into the culprit's hands. Told you they were just bluffing with that message. Whoever's behind it probably gets a kick out of seeing us running around like headless chickens, that's all. Tell that to Suri's mangled remains. Suri was targeted because he was a machine. Damaging a metal contraption's completely different from killing a flesh and blood person. You trying to say the culprit won't harm us because we're human? I'm just guessing, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Anyway, I'm heading back to my room. See what tomorrow morning brings. Takamaro and Darumi left after that, followed by Ima and Kako. Long as we're together, no one can hurt us. They held hands and left the cafeteria together. Good night, everyone. Sorry, my body is so poorly formed it can't fall asleep without a bed. Tsubasa and Shoma both said they didn't think the culprit could be among us, but as I watched them leave, it occurred to me they probably had their suspicions. Hiroko, Gaku, and I were the only ones left in the cafeteria. This is ridiculous. Why can't everyone see the best way to stay safe is to stick together? Everyone's already gone, though, except the three of us. If the two of you are working together, I'd probably be assaulted tonight. What? Are you inviting us to Gaku? Of course I'm not. Get your mind out of the gutter. Right, on the other hand, I'd be the one in hot soup if you two are the ones behind this. Or not, but I have no way of proving that. I guess going back to our rooms to rest really is the only thing we can do now. Indeed, casting aspirations at each other here won't help us sleep any better. Fine, I'll go too, but only because there's no other choice. Who's gonna die first? And so we all went back to our rooms to turn in for the night. I tossed and turned restlessly on my bed. My eyes were closed, but sleep kept evading me. Who wrote that message and destroyed Siri? The culprit really one of us? No, there's no way. That means the culprit's still hiding somewhere in the school. They couldn't have escaped outside the wall of fire after destroying Siri and writing that message. Hang on, are we sure the person who wrote the message and the person who destroyed Siri are one and the same? We just automatically assumed so, but there's no indication that they are. If it wasn't the same person, then we're actually up against two different people. How did things end up like this? I ruffled my hair violently while curling up on my bed. Midnight was just around the corner. Soon it would be day 5. Fun. It's 12:55 a.m. It hasn't even been an hour since the new day began. Visitor at this time? Thinking it might be the culprit, I was unnerved until I realized This would give me a great chance to capture them. Could very well be someone asking for help, too. Whoever it was, I had no reason to ignore them. Let's do this. Gathering my wits, I opened my room door cautiously. I looked around before stepping out. There was nobody to be seen anywhere. Was it a prank or a hallucination? Just as I turned around to go back into the room, a sharp pain exploded at the back of my head, quickly rendering me unconscious. Yay, we're dead! No, not dead yet.
Get ready, prepare, be ready to give your...
When I next came to, I realized I was on my bed, even though I had lost consciousness outside my room last night. Was that a dream? Was I just half asleep? I touched the back of my neck as those thoughts ran through my mind. A dull, aching pain greeted me. It wasn't a dream. I stepped outside last night and someone jumped on me from above. I'd probably been hiding on the rooftop. They punched or kicked me, I'm not sure which, on the back of my head. But who? And why? Was it the person who wrote that message and destroyed Siri? In that case, why am I still alive? They even went out of their way to move me back to my bed. Just then, the door slammed violently open and Tsubasa ran inside. Takumi, it's Gaku. Gaku's... What happened? Go to the classroom on the first floor, quickly, the same room we found the message in. I'll go let the others know. I ran downstairs so quickly I thought I might trip and fall. Getting to the classroom was the only thing on my mind. Soon the classroom came within view. I dashed inside and what greeted me was... Oh.
What is this?
I could hear the others entering the classroom behind me.
No! What the hell? Mr. Mariko!
Why? Gaku? Hey, Gaku! Cut it out! This isn't funny at all! Open your eyes, man! Wake up! I said wake up, Gaku!
Darumi kept shaking Gaku's shoulders. He didn't respond. So she started shaking him harder. Hiroko slowly put her arms around Darumi and gently pulled her away.
Hey, why don't we just use the Revivomatic?
Right! If we move Gaku to the infirmary, we can...
It won't work. The Revivomatic can only revive a person who only just died. That's what it says in the manual. Can you define just? It doesn't give a specific number, but definitely not 3 hours.
3 hours?
You can tell by the dry and discolored blood. It's been at least 3 hours since he was killed. And besides, look at the amount of blood he's lost. You know how the Revivomatic works. You need to have cryptoglobin in your body.
But we couldn't just give up without doing anything. We moved Gaku's body to the infirmary, put him in a corpse recovery drone, and placed him in the Revivomatic. However, unfortunately, Kako was right. The Revivomatic's analysis monitor was located at the back of the device. We all looked at the information together. Cause of death, hemorrhagic shock. Estimated time of death, day 5, between 1 and 4 a.m. Multiple stab wounds on chest and abdomen. Murder weapon is likely a sharp blade about a foot long. Too much time has passed since death. Insufficient cryptoglobin present in body. Impossible to revive. Doesn't something seem off to you guys? Why didn't that corpse recovery drone do its job earlier? You're right. If the drone had flown over to collect Gaku's body the moment he died, this wouldn't have happened. On hearing that, Tsubasa sprang into action. She went back to the analysis monitor. After fiddling with the terminal for a while, she took several steps back in shock. The drone itself is working correctly, but someone has overwritten the program that controls it. What? The code is too difficult to hack even for me. There's no way we can restore the original programming now. The new settings say that the drone doesn't activate if an SDU member dies outside of a defensive battle. You can't be serious. Who would do such a thing? You even need to ask? It's obviously the same person who killed Gaku. Silence filled the air, and nobody spoke for a while. Then Takamaru mumbled something. This is all my fault. I kept insisting the culprit was bluffing. Gaku wouldn't have died if I'd believed him. I don't know about that. Same thing may have happened even if we had all slept together in the cafeteria last night. Or maybe things would have been worse. What do you mean? I'll explain later. A few hours later, we managed to regain our composure somewhat and started cleaning up the classroom. Just didn't seem right to leave all that blood on the floor. We also made sure to thoroughly check for possible clues that might lead us to the murderer while we cleaned. Ultimately, we came to the realization that the killer had left nothing behind. No footprints, no bodily fluids, not even a single strand of hair. Once we were done, we decided to take care of the message as well. The message that was the cause of everything. The mere sight of it nauseated me. We angrily and vigorously scrubbed the message with solvents until it disappeared, Tsubasa and Shoma crying as they worked. Before we knew it, the sun had already set, and we were surrounded by darkness. Then we started on our next task, transporting Gaku's dead body from the infirmary to the morgue. Hey, why are we moving his body here? Shouldn't we be giving him a dignified burial? The corpse is a silent witness who never lies. Burying it would mean losing valuable clues. That reminds me, you mentioned that you were trying to become a detective in my previous timeline. And then Ima said he was your brilliant, talented assistant or something. I said that. Yes, now do you believe I've traveled back in time? I'm not sure. That's not particularly convincing evidence. Am I right to assume you're interested in helping out with the investigation, Kako? Yes. Share your observations with us, great detective. It was the most likely suspect in your eyes. But wait, we need to figure things like this out step by step. She tapped a finger on her temple. First of all, Tsubasa was the first person to find the body, right? Yes, I woke up before the morning announcement, so I went to the classroom on the first floor. I was trying to see if we'd missed any clues that could have pointed us to the identity of the person who wrote the message. I found Gaku on the floor like that. The question is, why did the killer murder him so brutally? He was stabbed multiple times in the chest and abdomen. If killing him had been the objective, they could have just simply aimed directly for the heart. This number of stab wounds usually indicates some sort of powerful personal grudge. It feels more like anger than a grudge to me. Killer is the same person who wrote the message, right? They got angry because we didn't follow their instructions. Or the fella's just trying to make an example out of someone, thinking they can strike fear in our hearts by killing someone in the most visceral way possible. I think their objective was even simpler than that. Pray tell. To bleed as much cryptoglobin out as possible so that we couldn't possibly revive Gaku even if we found his body right away. That would mean the killer is very familiar with the Special Defense Unit's members and how our bodies work. In short, there's a very high probability that the killer is one of us. Everyone fell silent at that. But nobody seemed as shaken up as they were yesterday, as if they had already come to this conclusion deep inside. That's why back in the infirmary I said that things would have been worse if we had all slept together in the cafeteria. because the killer would have assassinated everyone in their sleep. Yes, after drugging us with sleep medicine or something.
Huh?
Unthinkable, it's just not possible. One of us here is the killer? The alarm didn't sound, that means nobody has breached the Academy's defenses. Oh, and before you bring it up, no, Edo couldn't have done it either. Because he walked to one of the dead bodies, stood in front of it, and promptly pulled off the sheet that was covering it.
See? He's not breathing and has no pulse. It's literally impossible for Ado to be the killer. Unless he somehow turned into a zombie.
Why are we making nods to the other timeline?
Oh!
Everyone saw what Gaku's estimated time of death on the Revival-Matic was. Yes, I think it was between 1 and 4 a.m. last night. I'm going to have to ask each and every one of you where you were and what you were doing at that time. Everyone said they had been sleeping in their own rooms other than Ima. Ima was... I was sleeping in my dear sister's room. Which means only my dear sister and I have valid alibis. The testimony of a sibling is unreliable. Yes, I was expecting you to say that. Wait, so none of us have proper alibis? Hang on, nobody asked Takumi where he's been, yet. Alright, what about you, Takumi? I mean, your answer's probably going to be the same. I hesitated for a moment. Telling the truth would make me seem questionable. But if it ever came to light that I lied this time, I'd definitely look suspicious then. So I decided to go ahead and tell everyone what happened to me last night at around 1 a.m. Say, what? Someone came out of nowhere and knocked you out? And then you woke up to the sound of the morning announcement? In your bed? Yes, more or less. The person who knocked me out had to be the killer. Why only tell us about this now? I couldn't find a good time to bring it up. Really, but so much time has passed since we found Gaku's body. Everyone looked at me with suspicion in their eyes, causing my heart to beat faster. Telling the truth, please believe me. So you say, but that time-traveling thing has got to be just a big fat lie. The invite for the Switch 2 pre-order? That's crazy. I agreed. Yes, you killed Ado for some reason and made up that tall tale in order to justify your actions. Oh. That would actually explain why Siri was destroyed too. Siri was the only one present when Ado was killed. He was the only one who knew the truth. When Siri tried to blackmail Takumi using that incident, Takumi destroyed him in order to silence him. You got your Switch too? Congrats. Now you can play Pokemon.
Hey!
Why would I do that? And what about the message? I was the first one to propose we stay in the academy. Besides, there's no reason for me to kill Gaku. Absolutely no reason at all. You're coming apart at the seams. Nobody said anything about you killing Mr. Maruko. You were all looking at me as if you thought I was the killer. I spent hours trying to prove my innocence to the others, but there was nothing convincing I could use to clear my name. Takamaru, Darumi, Shoma, and the Tsukumo twins were especially unwilling to give me any benefit of the doubt. Well then, sister dearest, let us fall asleep under the same roof again tonight. Yes, like I said before, it's more dangerous for everyone to be sleeping together. Sleeping with the person you trust the most is the best way to deal with this. Takamaru, will you please allow this worm to burrow in your room tonight? What are you saying? You're the person I trust the most. Or are you afraid that I may actually be the killer? Don't be stupid, you idiot. I'd just kill you right back. That means I'm staying in Mistress Hiriko's room tonight. You can kill me anytime you please, my mistress. I'm sorry, but you're on your own. Well, why? You may end up killing me, for all I know. Besides, I've already been reserved by someone else. Someone else? Hiriko is staying with me tonight. No. The only option left is Takumi. Absolutely not. I'm not gonna throw myself into the arms of a serial killer. I have standards on who gets to kill me, you know. Everyone retired to their chosen rooms after deciding on sleeping arrangements. I trudged my way back to my own room as well. I had just returned to my room when the doorbell rang. Wow. The door swung open and in walked... Hiriko Tsubasa. What's the matter? Just so we're clear, this doesn't mean we trust you or anything. But you came all the way just to tell me that? Let me finish. We don't trust you, but we see no reason to be completely suspicious of you either, unlike the other 5. Okay, that's nice to hear, and... if what you've been saying is true, there's going to be an enemy attack in 2 days' time on day 7, right? According to what I've lived through, yes. When that happens, I intend to fight. But it's unlikely the other 5 will be willing to follow you. So you're saying there's a high chance they won't join the fight? Even Takumaru and Darumi, who fought on day 1? Tsubasa's trying to say she's willing to lend you a hand. I can't just sit back and let you and Hiriko fight the invaders by yourselves. Besides, it's game over for us anyway if we lose. A combat party of 3 isn't going to be strong enough. Which is why I'm thinking of calling in reinforcement. From where? You once mentioned a second-to-last defense academy that's being protected by 5 special defense unit members, right? I get it. You want to bring them here? It was inevitable that we would one day have to go to the second-to-last defense academy anyway. That academy was attacked on day 10 and Moko was killed. I'd been pushing it to the back of my mind because I thought we still had time. Not that we had any spare time to be thinking about going there at all. It makes sense to go over as soon as possible, so I agreed to Hiriko and Tsubasa's plan. Are you both coming with me? Of course. Then we set off at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. 6? The campus is quite a distance from here, isn't it? Yeah. We should start early then. We also have to ensure we can make it back before the enemy attack on day 7. That's a good point. That's settled then. We'll be taking our leave now. We'll go tell the others about this. Thank you. They nodded and left the room. There was just one thing bothering me. Was it really a good idea to leave 5 people behind in an academy with a serial killer on the loose? That said, I really did want to reach the second campus before Moko got killed on day 10. Since we needed reinforcements for the next offensive battle, going there tomorrow was indeed the best option we had. It wouldn't make sense for all of us to go anyway, and leaving just 2 or 3 to protect the school alone wouldn't be any better. In fact, it would be worse because that'd just make them easier targets for the killer. I concluded that the safest thing to do was to go there with Hiriko and Tsubasa. I hope we can meet the team from the second academy tomorrow. Yoshika, Moko, Karara, Yugamu, and Nozomi. The possibility of seeing them again did nothing to loosen the tight knot in my stomach. After all, a friend had just been violently murdered today. I couldn't get the sight of Gaku's mangled body out of my mind. At 6 a.m., I went straight to the entrance hall, where Hiriko and Tsubasa were already waiting for me. You are 10 seconds late. 10 seconds. A split second of distraction can prove fatal in battle. You will do well to remember that. Yes, ma'am. I mindlessly responded to Hiroko while looking around. I didn't see anyone else. They're not even going to see us off, huh? I mean, they believe you're a serial killer, you know. Nothing I could do about that.
Huh?
How did you break the news to them? I just told them plainly. I said we needed to bring in a second team to increase our combat power. They didn't criticize you for daring to follow a serial killer there? They sure did, which is why I asked them nicely if they'd rather we left that serial killer behind with them. Suddenly letting just the three of us go became the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, okay. We can chat later, let's be on our way. Oh. Look over there, that looks like a shortcut. Let's go check it out. That is certainly not a shortcut. I'm pretty sure that is the long way to get there. Skip it? Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Phew, we finally arrived. So this is the place. Second to last Defense Academy. As we got closer, I saw her. Nozomi. My pulse started racing. My breathing got heavier. I felt an uncontrollable burning in my chest. Nozomi was alive. She was alive again and right here in front of me. Without thinking, I almost reached out to touch her. But I fought that impulse and pulled it back. Huh? Who are you guys? Words simply failed me. While I was still busy being incoherent, Nigo and the others showed up as well. Are you perhaps from Last Defense Academy? Or did you know that? Your class armor. There's something you guys needed. Yes, actually. After moving the conversation to the cafeteria and introducing ourselves, we told everyone what had happened at Last Defense Academy. About Edo, the threatening message, Sirai's destruction, all of it. Even about Gaku's murder and me traveling back in time. I also shared everything that had happened in the 100 days I had previously gone through. What greeted me at the end was silence. Nigo had stopped moving and had a dazed, distant look in his eyes. Sirai's destruction must have been too much for him. None of the others from the second academy had anything to say either. They all stood frozen, mouths agape in astonishment. I see. Thanks for the massive info dump, I guess. I'm still trying to process everything, but I more or less get what you're trying to say. The long and short of the matter is that Last Defense Academy is currently in quite a bit of a pickle. Am I right to say that? Yeah. Then we have to go there right away. Since this place is just a decoy, there's no need for us to protect it anymore. The enemy will be attacking that academy tomorrow, right? Then we must hasten our steps and get there by today. Thank you. We would greatly appreciate the backup. Nigo, is the school bus available? Hey, Nigo, can you hear me? Oh, yes, the bus is available. Great. We'll meet in the parking lot after everyone here gets ready. Takumi, Hiroko, and Tsubasa, you guys can go there first. It's at... Don't worry, I know where it is. Oh, you don't let me explore it, though. I'm packed and ready to go. Onwards to Last Defense Academy. We all started moving towards the bus, except for Nigo, who hasn't moved from his spot at all. As soon as we noticed, we stopped walking. Something wrong, Nigo? I cannot go. What? I've been ordered to guard second to Last Defense Academy with my life. Therefore, I am unable to abandon it. Ordered by who? Your superior officer, the one who got destroyed? No. This order came from the higher-ups on the artificial satellite. No. Can't you defy them somehow? We all tried to talk Nigo out of staying, but he refused to abandon his post. We have no choice but to leave him behind. But It's already night, and we're running out of time. We have to go now. I will be just fine, everybody. You see, there is no commanding officer at Last Defense Academy right now. So if I open a dialogue with the higher-ups about this, they may reassign me there. Fine. Hurry up and do that dialogue thing with your superiors and come over as soon as you can, understand? We'll be waiting for you over there. Thank you. Be careful. And so we had to part ways with Nigo. After exchanging firm handshakes, we boarded the school bus. We decided to let Tsubasa drive, as she had the most experience with vehicles, and then...
Right, let's go.
She floored the accelerator and the bus peeled off. We made our way toward our base, Last Defense Academy. A short while after setting off, I started a conversation with the 5 members of the Second Academy. Hiroko's kinda crazy. I suppose sitting next to Yugamu's not too bad.
First of all, I'm grateful that you decided to come with us. Am I also right to assume that you believed what I said?
What you said?
About coming back from the future.
It's too much of a coincidence to be made up.
What is more, you possess knowledge about us that we have revealed to none but ourselves.
We believe you only because it makes sense to, not because we want to. I believe you, Takumi.
Thank you, everyone. You have no idea how glad this makes me. Because nobody in the other academy believes me at all.
Including those 2 over there?
The 5 of them turned to stare at Hiroko and Tsubasa.
You don't believe him? Can you not see the pureness in his eyes? His very soul itself?
They kept looking at Hiroko and Tsubasa in plain and undisguised disgust. The 2 eventually caved under the weight of their collective stares.
Fine. I believe him.
What, you do? I guess I should too then.
Seriously, that's all it took? I held back from speaking my thoughts out loud. Their reasoning didn't matter as long as they believed me. With this, there were now more people who believed me than those who didn't. It made me feel more at ease after going through those terrible things yesterday. As the bus kept rumbling on, the pleasant swaying sensation made me so drowsy I almost fell asleep. Eventually, the sight of the wall of fire slowly came into view through the windshield on the bus. Oh, Mistress Hiroko, I'm so glad you're safe and sound. I was sure the serial killer would be coming back by himself. But thank goodness you're both okay.
Hey!
What about me? By the way, are those guys with you... nameless NPCs? Hello there, my name is Nozomi Kirifuji. I'm Moko Mojiro, the apocalyptic maiden of destruction. Yoshiko Magadori at your service. Bow your head, peasants. I am Kurara Osazuki, the great and powerful. And I'm Yugamu Omokage, teenage assassin, hopeless romantic, and all-around nice guy. They're neither nameless nor NPCs. They're totally trying to assert themselves as main characters. Well, we should introduce ourselves too. That's alright, we've already heard all about you on the bus. Well, that saves us a lot of time. What are we waiting for then? It's time to play some games where losers get to have their nails ripped off for shits and giggles. Wow, that sounds like my kind of fun. I'm not playing. We have a battle coming up tomorrow. Now that the introductions are over, we should rest up until then. So you guys are really gonna fight together with us? No, it is the very reason we have come here. But why would you help us? Why do you even need to ask? It's because we all have the same ultimate goal in mind. Ultimate goal? From here on, we just protect the baby in the defense room until day 100, right? And the missiles he's been charging up will be launched in all directions. All the invaders will be wiped out, and that'll be the end of world death. But right before we shoot off in the escape pod to join back up with the rest of humanity on the artificial satellite. Or so we have heard from Sir Takumi. I see no reason to say no. We made it through these 100 days and everyone's stories end happily. We make it through these 100 days, and everyone's stories end happily. We're with you all the way. The palpable excitement of the 5 members from the second academy stood in stark contrast to the sullen moods of those from this academy. What's the matter? They're just feeling awkward because they have no intention of joining us for tomorrow's defensive battle. Whereas you guys will be sent into the battlefield as their substitutes, even though you're new here. Wait, why aren't you joining the fight? I already explained on the way here. They do not trust Takumi's leadership. Oh, that whole time-traveling thing? That's just a part of it. Gaku's murder played a bigger part. Right now, they all think Takumi did it. Excuse me? Sir Takumi is a killer? No, of course not. I didn't do it. Sir Takumi has spoken. What is your response? We already discussed this thing to death. But there's no proof yet. Proof of what? Proof of Takumi's innocence. Apprehending the real perpetrator's the best way to settle this. I'll believe you if you can do that. Thanks, you guys. We went back to our rooms soon after our meeting to rest and recharge for tomorrow's defensive battle. As I flopped down onto the bed, I found myself whispering under my breath. The real perpetrator. That's right, I have to find and catch the real culprit. That was the only way I could regain the trust of those 5 and convince them to help with the battles again. It was also the quickest way. Emo was absolutely right. And there was another good reason. I wanted to avenge Gaku. He'd never be able to rest in peace if I let the perpetrator get away. But how would I figure out who the real culprit was? Unlike Kako, I didn't have a detective bone in my body. I had a lot to think about. However, the trip to and from second to last Defense Academy had depleted all my energy. I was swallowed by the darkness of sleep before I could even think about my options. Good night. What's the first thing you're gonna play on your Switch to read?
Get ready, prepare, be ready to give your...
Okay, so Takamaru, Darumi, Shoma, Kako, and Ima aren't even going to come see us out. They won't be joining the battle, why would they show up? I don't know, they can at least cheer for us, right? Get 'em, guys, go fight and risk your lives for us because we don't want to. That doesn't sound like a very morale-boosting cheer at all. Anyway, when is the enemy gonna be showing up? Anytime now. Remember what I told you in the bus yesterday about the commander's special traits? Yes, Sir Takumi. I have it all memorized. The alarm sounded immediately after he said that.
Intruder defense mode.
They're here. Take the lead, Takumi. What? You're our leader, aren't you? Don't you have anything to say to your team before they head out into battle? All right. Is everyone ready? Ready when you are. The holy Jamonji sword is always ready. She ravenously longs to spill the blood of the wicked. I'm ready. I took a whole bunch of anti-nausea pills, so I made this using my own special formula. Efficiency guaranteed. Loosen up, Tsubasa. You'll be fine. You've got the apocalyptic maiden of destruction looking out for you now. Thanks, I trust you. Let's all work together out there. Humanity's counting on us. This isn't just for them, but for ourselves too. We fight for our future. Let's go. It's always weird seeing so many people. Skip the battle. Nice. Don't have to do the battle.
We managed to clear out the minions.
Now we shall deal with the commander.
You mean that person over there?
Wait. Who's that?
On the edge of the battlefield, watching us fight, was a figure I didn't recognize.
Is that the commander you guys fought before?
No. That wasn't the one.
Hiroko was right. I never saw that person during the whole of my previous 100 days. I had no idea who they were, but they were not a commander I'd fought before, that's for sure.
Hey, look! There's someone else over there! Is that the one then?
Yes, it is.
That's the commander we faced our first day here. God of the planet.
Dragon. First dragon. How is it I can understand him?
Little Black Riding Hood over there hasn't done anything, though.
Little Black Riding Hood?
See that black hood they're wearing? Name fits to a T.
Who is that? Why is someone I've never seen before showing up all of a sudden? Did the timeline change?
Hey, Takumi! Stop staring off into space like some plebeian and start acting like a leader, why don't you?
Yes. Right. Everyone, concentrate your attacks on the giant commander over there first.
Little Black Riding Hood can wait.
Understood.
We did it! We took down the commander! What about Little Black Riding Hood?
I looked around. The mysterious figure had disappeared at some point during the battle.
Who the heck was that anyway?
Mayhaps a passerby who was on their way to the convenience store?
How does a random passerby simply walk onto a highly secured compound like this?
While on the way to the convenience store at that.
More importantly, what should we do about the commander? He's not dead yet.
Tsubasa pointed to where Murrum lay on the ground, heavily injured, but still breathing.
I think he's trying to say something.
Let me see.
Yugamu knelt over the fallen commander. After a quick but surprisingly thorough examination, he spoke up again.
His vocal cords have been crushed. Someone must have hit him right in the throat.
So, he won't be able to talk then.
That's right.
Even if he could, it's not like we can understand their language.
That's not true. When he first showed up, he told us his name and stuff. Remember?
I am Mervrum, the paragon of order. In the name of order, I will strike you down. That was what I heard.
He was the one who got struck down in the end.
So, back to the topic at hand. What should we do with him? Why are we even discussing this?
We kill him and take his cryptoglobin.
Huh?
To survive to day 100, we must fight and win every single battle that is to come. And for that to happen, we must keep getting stronger.
I am of the same mind.
Take him out, Takumi. Make it quick.
They were all waiting for me to make the call. I hardened my resolve and nodded slowly. Dang. Where's the timeline where we take them all captive? I guess we're giving it to Hiroko, since Darumi's abandoned us. Not that I want to see crazy Hiroko.
Exquisite.
I should probably start upgrading people again. At night, the 8 of us who had fought in the defensive battle held a small victory party in the cafeteria. We discussed who deserved to be crowned MVP and who had the coolest looking finishing move. Everyone talked and laughed pleasantly as we reviewed the battle together. Even though a fellow comrade had been killed just 2 days ago, the adrenaline rush of victory had us in high spirits. And then they showed up. The 5 members who hadn't taken part in the battle. Hunger pangs got the better of your suspicions. Sorry, but we're not in the business of feeding losers here. None of you did anything to contribute to this victory. Come on, don't be like that. It's just food. What's the big deal? We ain't here to poach your food. Then what are you here for? Just thought it wouldn't be right to not even say thanks, you know? Thanks for what? Thank you for saving the Academy, and us. Yes, thank you. Suspicious. These two would, well, Emo would never thank you. Kako's actually nice. From the bottom of my worthless heart, thank you. There's no need to be so formal. I'd rather hear you say you'll help us out in the next battle. Those are 2 different things. We still think Mr. Samino stinks to high heaven. We ain't gonna lift a finger to help until he can prove his innocence. You have to show us concrete proof that he wasn't the killer. Your stance hasn't changed since last night, then. Basically, you want us to find the real murderer. Yes, that is, if you can find one, since Takumi may very well be the culprit. The party ended soon after, and we all went back to our own rooms. When I did the same, I found someone waiting for me there. Hello, it's been a while. You, why? No, wait, I get it. You have clues to the identity of the real perpetrator who killed Gaku 2 days ago. And you're here to share them with me, right? Sadly, that's not what I'm here for. I'm aware that one of your friends, Gaku Maruko, was killed by someone. However, I wasn't there when it happened, so I didn't witness the crime. I'm far from omnipresent. While I am able to move instantly to any location I have in mind, I don't have full knowledge of everything that goes on in this academy. That's too bad. What are you actually here for, then? To inform you of something. I'll keep it short. I'm not feeling very well right now. Not feeling well? In what sense? Right, you can't tell because I'm in this form. Basically, I'm sick. How did that happen? There is a particular space known as blood space in this world. It is a distinct space filled with cryptoglobin energy. However, a malicious aura from the future has been seeping into a certain part of that space. My true form, the baby, is being badly affected by that aura. You are aware the baby's body is also filled with cryptoglobin energy, yes? That is why the malicious aura is also encroaching on the baby's body. I'm sorry, what exactly are you trying to say? To put it simply, the source of evil intent from this timeline is invading the baby's body. Oh, that leaves me more confused than ever. And what should I do? What can I do to help? Can I bring the baby some medicine? Wait, if a malicious aura is causing this, I should be bringing an exorcist, right? The only cure is to solve the case in the future that's causing this. Case in the future? Not what happened to Gaku 2 days ago? I did mention the malicious aura is coming from the future, didn't I? Solving the case that produces that aura is the cure to this disease. When all is settled, the baby's body should make a full recovery. Yes. This also means I won't be able to show myself to you for a while. That's what I wanted to tell you today. So I won't be able to talk to you for a while. Please don't look so sad. This isn't goodbye forever. It's just... You must solve this future case yourself, Takumi. Then we will be able to see each other again. I'm counting on you. With that, the ghost boy disappeared from sight. Future case. What case, though? Wait, does that mean there's going to be another murder? No, he didn't mention anything about the case being a murder case. I prayed that it would be about something completely different. I never wanted to see something like that again. Days of accumulated stress and fatigue finally got to me, and I ended up sleeping through the morning like a log. When I finally woke up, it was afternoon. In fact, the sun was already sinking into the horizon towards the west. That was the exact moment the shrill sound of sirens blasted all around me. Oh. That sound immediately dispelled the heavy fog clouding my mind.
Intruder defense mode.
What? Why now? The enemy just came yesterday. Are they attacking us 2 days in a row? It's only day 8. The next battle should have been on day 17. The timeline was changing. For some reason, it was starting to spiral completely out of control. Oh, is this the infamous battle timeline? I'd better get over to the war room. I rushed frantically out of my room. Oh, Takumi. Now you show up. Everyone else is already here. Sorry, I came as quickly as I could. Everyone, as in everyone who took part in the battle yesterday, in case you misunderstood. The Frightened Five won't be showing up today either, I assume. Are you still harping on that? We must go out and meet the enemy forces immediately, Sir Takumi. Yes, of course, let's do this. Initiate defensive battle. Oh. Hey there. Nice, I can skip it still. Does another commander show?
And they've certainly wasted a lot of mine. I can already feel the nice warm shower waiting for me.
Careful. The battle isn't over yet. Look over there.
You filthy little creatures are an affront to God and his teachings. Clearly, I must eliminate you before this infection spreads.
Hey look, our friend. I must stop skipping cutscenes. Besides the stabbing ourselves.
Was that Little Black Riding Hood?
Was the convenience store closed?
Went there yesterday, found it closed, and they're now on their way back. Is that the story you've written for them? How far is this store?
Ignore Little Black Riding Hood and focus on dealing with Pakron first.
Got it.
Ooh, they weren't gonna survive long anyways. Even if I would have actually done the fighting.
Well, that was surprisingly easy.
The Holy Jumanji sword has not had her fill.
Holy Jumanji?
The Holy Jumanji sword!
We still have to deal with them.
Zelmi pointed to where the figure we dubbed Little Black Riding Hood stood. They began walking toward us with slow deliberation, then they pulled back their hood, revealing...
The Supreme Commander. It was her all along.
Who?
The one who's leading the invader army, remember? I told you guys about her before.
Oh, that's who it was. Okay, then. At that, the Supreme Commander brought her hand up to her mask.
Among my people, I am known as Veshness, the paragon of hope.
You're vexed about your looks, therefore the mask?
No, I am not.
But you're so much uglier than I am!
Not the best line to spout in this day and age.
More importantly...
How is it you can understand us?
Ah, I see. So you know nothing either. To think I came all this way to scope out the reason behind the change.
What change?
The change that took place several days ago. All of a sudden, my soldiers started gaining immense power. At the same time, we became capable of understanding your language.
We looked at each other in confusion. Kyoshika was the one who spoke up.
Her words confound me, but she would be the chief villain, yes? Should we be able to defeat her, will this war not end immediately? Well then...
That's right! We can end this right here and now!
Such interesting creatures. I had intended to stick to the appointed days and let you entertain me. And well, I suppose picking off 2 or 3 right now matters not in the grand scheme of things.
Is that a challenge? If so, you're on!
Vetchness slowly started walking towards us, getting closer and closer with each ambling step. But before I could do anything...
Hold your horses!
Takemaru! Why are you?
I was watching y'all fight from the rooftop. That ignited a spark in me. And before I knew it, I was here.
Without waiting for a reply, Takemaru turned to face Vetchness.
Hey! You said your name was Veshness or something? Ain't fair for us all to gang up on you. So how about a one-on-one with me?
No, what are you doing?
Takemaru, that's not a good idea!
Shut up, marshmallow face.
Marshmallow?
If you insist, you shall be given an express ticket to the River Styx, where I suppose you could apply to serve as a boat rower.
Save that ticket for yourself, bitch! I hope you packed your bikini. Oh wait, it just fall right off your flat chest, huh?
What?
It's you or me, Veshness!
Takamaru hurtled toward Veshness on his bike, but the very next moment, Veshness unleashed a powerful sidekick that sent him flying. She immediately leapt into the air, switched her sword to her other hand, and angled it at the fallen Takamaru as she dropped down. When I next opened my eyes, what I saw was the sky. What I felt was a searing pain across my back. I heard the gurgling sound of cryptoglobin gushing out of my body from a wound.
Takumi? Why did you...
Oh, now I remember. My body had moved before my brain did, and it made its way to where Veshness would have landed. I had thrown myself over Takamaru to shield him from the blade she had pointed at him.
Self-sacrificing acts are such mood dampeners.
You motherfucker!
That strike just confirmed my suspicions. Watching paint dry is going to be more fun than fighting you in your current state. Like kicking a helpless puppy. What is the point of that? I shall grant you the gift of time. Use it well, and gain more power. Perhaps you shall be able to provide more entertainment the next time we meet. Until then... one more thing. I will be taking Pakron's body back with me, lest you desecrate it like you did with Mervram's corpse the other day.
Desecrate?
You absorbed his cryptoglobin. That is an insult of the highest order amongst our people.
Interesting.
Never will I allow it to happen again. Farewell.
The sound of Veshness's footsteps faded away, and I heard heavy stomping getting closer as the others ran over to me.
Takumi!
Sir Takumi!
Are you okay? Stay with us.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll be fine.
Takumi? Takumi!
Takumi!
We're dead! Nice. We love these timelines. We didn't get to absorb any commander, though. Day 21. When I next came to, Nozomi was right in front of me. It was pitch black, and she didn't seem to notice I was awake.
Nozomi.
Called out to her softly. In response, she leapt to her feet with an ear-piercing scream. She scuttled frantically around the room a few times before finally coming to a stop. Then she just stood there in a daze. Watched the entire scene play out before sitting up. Are you sure you should be doing that? What do you mean? Your injuries were so severe you've been out for 13 days. That means today is... Day 21. What time is it? Almost time for the nighttime announcement to play, I think. What a horrible time to wake up. I doubt I can fall back asleep now. What, you're worried about? What are you doing here anyway? Nursing you back to health. For 13 days? No, we've been taking turns. It just happened to be my turn today. I see. Sorry for the trouble. No trouble at all. Wait, I need to go tell everyone you're awake. She dashed out of the room immediately after that. She going to call everyone here? This room's not nearly big enough for that. I decided to get up and meet the others instead. A short while later, everyone else came running over frantically. No, not everyone. Only Takamaru and the 8 who had joined the battle on day 8. Takumi. Takumi. Sir Takumi. How are you feeling? At Tsubasa's question, Yugamu marched closer and started poking and prodding at various parts of my body eventually. He's good. All is well. Yo, Takumi's back in business. You deserve a title belt for this. Nice going. What a relief. Everyone started loudly expressing how happy they were to see me awake. We were seriously considering killing you if you didn't wake up for another 3 days.
Huh?
What? The revival medic could have brought you back to life in full health. But none of us wanted to be the one to do the deed. And that's why we waited to see if you would recover by yourself. Oh, okay. I'm glad that worked out. My lips turned upward into a smile. Where's everyone else? I told them you'd woken up, but they didn't want to come visit. Have those people no heart? Perhaps they are still of the opinion that Sir Takumi is a killer. Nobody else got killed after that one incident, right? It has to be because the real culprits already found a way outside the wall of fire. That's one possibility. However, this fact also adds to the case against him. Nobody got killed while Takumi was unconscious, therefore Takumi is the killer. That's very likely what the others are thinking. I can't believe this. I shook my head helplessly. It didn't matter, I decided to just put them out of my mind for now. The more important thing is what happened in the 13 days I was out. Were there any enemy attacks? Only one on day 15. The 8 of us fought them off. Fetchness showed up in that battle as well. But we blew her to Kingdom Come with the undying flame bomb crafted by Lady Tsubasa. Wow, that's incredible, beating Veshness with just the 8 of you. Everyone had a proud smile on their face. Wait, that means Takamaru fought too? Do you even need to ask? You really thought I'd just fold my hands and stay on the sidelines after what you did? So, you're no longer suspicious of me? For now, I believe you. Sorry about before, by the way. And thanks for doing that for me on day 8. You seriously saved my life. It's fine. Also, we need to tell you about Nico. Huh? What happened to him? It is most unfortunate. Nico, he's gone. What? Why? We got worried, so we went to second to last defense academy to check on him. But the school had been completely destroyed, and Nico's remains were lying in the debris. We recovered a memory chip with an event log that Tsubasa decrypted for us. Turns out, Nico self-destructed. Self-destructed? He did it to create a massive explosion and kill the invaders during an attack. Oh no. I have a suspicion the loss of Siri, his superior officer, may have played a part in that decision as well. Nico was really attached to that Siri guy after all. It may have been his plan all along to remain behind and follow him in death. Nico was such a nice guy, his loss will be greatly felt. A heavy, suffocating silence filled the air. Though it didn't last long. It was broken by the sound of the usual nighttime announcement. Ding dong, ding dong.
You never know. Well then.
And then a few seconds later...
Intrude defenseman.
I literally just woke up from a coma. They sure know how to pick their timing. That is exactly why you will be sitting this one out. Can't just... Stuff it, we'll just be fighting hard enough to make up for you. Stay snug in bed, convalescent. No, I'm fighting too. Why are you being so stubborn? Because I'm the leader of the Special Defense Unit. Come on, to the war room. I immediately started running. Wait, Takumi, oh for goodness sake. Everyone here? Let's do this. Special Defense Unit, move out. Okay. Before this, I'm guessing it lets me skip the battle. It does. Before that, I need the bathroom, so I'm gonna run an ad, so feel free to get up, stretch, grab a drink, and we'll be back shortly. Alright, we're back. Skip the battle.
Has your lust for blood and battle been satisfied, my holy Jumanji sword?
No! I need a lot more than this! Give me more blood! More!
That's the first time I've seen her do that.
Huh, I didn't know the holy Jumanji sword talked like that.
I'm more concerned about where the commander is!
They couldn't have only sent those minions. The commander must be lurking somewhere.
Orb? Oh no. This could be bad.
Oh my! What is all the smoke?
Smoke? Or maybe poison gas?
It's just mist, guys. M-I-S-T.
Fine water droplets floating in the air that's harmless to the human body.
Wait, I remember this mist. The person hiding behind it should be...
Yay! The mist is gone! I can see everything clearly now.
Look over there!
Is that...
Yes! That's the commander for this battle!
Here we go!
Oh, is this our buddy? I can't remember which one she is ever. You win!
Whew! Victory is ours this time.
That was a tricky enemy!
What are we gonna do with her?
Everyone turned to look at the commander.
Please, don't kill me! My name is Ava, the paragon of nature.
Ava?
I didn't know why, but I felt like I had heard that name before.
Please, spare me, for the love of God!
Ava brought her hand up to her mask. And in a swift, smooth moment, took it off.
The same as Veshnas.
She looks just like a human.
No need to pay her appearance any mind.
What? Why?
Because she is to be executed.
No. Spare me. Please. Please don't kill me. I'll be useful. I can give you lots of intel. I'll give you anything. Just please, spare me. So the lady insists. Any thoughts?
A dramatic bluff if I have ever seen one. Any intel she provides is bound to be full of fabrications.
No, I would never. I only speak the truth.
I think we should kill her too.
Why?
Surely you understand why we would hesitate to trust the words of the enemy.
You'll say something sweet to suck up to us, and then turn around and betray us the first chance you get.
You're all being so awful. Why won't anyone believe me?
Ava kept pleading with us. Her face filled with a woeful expression. Hiriko glanced at her scornfully before speaking up again.
Takumi, you're the leader, so you decide.
Everyone turned to look at me, waiting for my reply. At that moment, I could suddenly feel extra eyes on me. I traced the source of the sensation to the rooftop, where I could see the 4 other members, Darumi, Shoma, Ima, and Kako. Killing Eva now would make them even more wary of me. After all, their suspicions were rooted in the fact that I had killed Ado. If I did the same thing now, that would undoubtedly cement the image of me as a heartless killer in their minds. I wanted to avoid giving them that impression. No, to be honest, even if those four hadn't been watching.
Please, I beg of you. Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
I could never kill someone so earnestly pleading for her life. It just wasn't right. I felt ashamed for even allowing myself to consider deciding the fate of another person through calculating what would benefit me the most. So I looked into the eyes of everyone present and said,
Let Ava live. We'll imprison her here and interrogate her later.
You gotta be shitting me.
You truly believe that to be the best path?
Yes.
I think you will regret this.
I won't. Because I'll hold myself fully responsible for making it work.
Very well. Our leader has spoken.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Leader, your name is Takumi, if I remember correctly. I can't thank you enough for this. From the bottom of my heart.
Ava was choking on her words and bawling her eyes out. The next instant, intense pain spread through my back. Forcing myself to join the battle when I hadn't fully healed had reopened the wound. A sharp pain shot up my spine. I crumpled to the ground, unable to exert any strength at all. A hazy veil hung over my mind, blocking me from making out what the others around me were saying. I slowly slipped into sweet silent serenity. Well, we got Ava back again. Someone. She's not gonna be battling, obviously.
Get prepared to be ready to give your...
Another few days being out. I woke up to the familiar sight of Nozomi, sitting right in front of me. This time she noticed right away that I was awake and... leapt to her feet with an ear-piercing scream. She scuttled frantically around the room even longer than last time before finally coming to a stop. And then she just stood there in a daze. I watched the entire scene play out before sitting up. Why are you so surprised? Didn't this exact same thing happen before? But you were out for 13 days the last time. It's only been a little more than 2 days this time. Can you blame me? That means today is day 24. What time? Well, I guess I don't need to ask. The morning announcement just played. Nozomi nodded. Are you feeling better? I'm fine. Stop putting on an act, okay? Remember what happened during the last offensive battle. I do. As long as I don't force myself to fight like that day, I'll be fine, see? Really? Yeah. Despite my confident reply, Nozomi still seemed unconvinced. By the way, what happened to Ava after I passed out? Well, she refused to tell us anything. But she promised to give us intel if we spared her life. We reminded her about that promise as well, but then she said, I'm not going to tell you anything because the offer to share intel was made to Takumi, your team leader, not you. And that's why she's refusing to say anything until you can go talk to her, I guess. Damn it, what's she trying to pull? Nozomi and I headed to the cafeteria together, where the other 7 who had fought in the battle 3 days ago were gathered. When they saw me, there was a lot of shouting, squealing, cheering, and happy noises as they congratulated me on my recovery, although it felt a little more subdued than their reactions 3 days ago. Then again, I did wake up from a 13-day coma that time. Still, the celebration went on for quite a while. I ate my first meal, liquids only for now, in a long time, while being surrounded by their warm and welcoming voices. I went back to my room for a break. Now then, there was really no question on what I was going to do next. I have to find out who Gaku's real killer is. I didn't believe the real killer was one of us. That meant I had to find a way to prove that the killer was someone from outside the school. In any case, if I could prove my innocence, I could regain the trust of the 4 holdouts. Then they would join the future battles. Guess I should start investigating. I decided it was time to pay everyone a visit and ask questions. Talk to everyone. Tsubasa, I get. But what are you doing here, Takamaru? She said she found something cool, duh. What is it? There was a box of junk inside this garage. I rummaged through it and found... What's that? The voice changer. See that patch thing on the tip of the cable? Stick it to your throat and you can use it to freely change your voice to anything you like. You can make it go higher, lower, or smooth as butter. Also, if you have a sample voice recording that's long enough, you can make yourself talk with that voice too. Isn't it cool? Sure, but what is it even doing here? Oh, I wouldn't know. Maybe whoever used this place last left it behind. Who would that be? How the heck would I know? What are you doing here, Takumi? Oh, right. I told them why I was there. Investigating Gaku's murder, huh? I think you're looking in the wrong place. We don't have anything new to share. We were all fast asleep in our rooms when he died. We couldn't have possibly seen or heard anything, or anyone suspicious. Any personal guesses? Like, do you know if anyone had a grudge against Gaku? They turned and looked at each other. Takumi, are you thinking that one of us is the killer? No, that's not it. I already told you. The culprit is an outsider who's already escaped outside the wall of fire after killing Gaku. Yeah, that's what I think too. I don't want to be suspicious of anyone anymore. Ain't gonna make that mistake again. He was probably referring to the time when he suspected I was the killer. Okay, thanks for sharing your thoughts with me. After saying that, I turned to leave. Rara and Kyoshika, what are you two doing here? So, this is where this Gaku person was killed. It was weighing on our minds, and so we came. Everyone here is such a dimwit that it's highly likely they missed a vital piece of evidence or two. Oh, so you're here for the same reason I am. Are you investigating the case as well, Sir Takumi? Yeah, do you want to help me out since you're already here? I want to re-examine the scene of the crime. We searched the room together, but found nothing of note. Did you investigate this place immediately after the murder took place? Yes, before we cleaned Gaku's blood off the floor, but we didn't find any clues that would bring us closer to the identity of the killer then either. How about the murder weapon? Despite our best efforts, we haven't found it yet. Not in this classroom or anywhere else on school grounds. What about the threatening note scribbled on the digital blackboard? Was it erased? Yeah, it was making us uneasy, so... That was a stupid thing to do. We could have used the handwriting to pinpoint the killer. They weren't wrong. By the way, there's something I need to ask you. I asked them what they were doing between the night of day 4 and the morning of day 5. Wait, are you suspicious of us? Not really, it's just... I was sleeping in my room at second to last Defense Academy, of course. As was I, in my own room, that is. Cannot believe we're on your list of suspects. Look at me. I am the very epitome of innocence. Hey, what's with that look? I mean, have you seen yourself? More like the epitome of I've got something to hide. You are talking about my mask, right? Are you telling me to take it off? No, absolutely not. This mask stays on no matter what anybody... Right before she finished her sentence, Yoshika snatched her mask away, revealing Kororo's face. She held the mask up high before throwing it onto the ceiling catwalk. Oh. My mask is gone. My mask. Where did you hide it? Karara kept looking around in a panic. It didn't seem like she noticed Kyoshika had thrown the mask away. That didn't really matter. What did matter was her exposed face. It's Karara. Oh no, I was just thinking how you looked the same in the other timeline too. Why would I look different? This is the face I was born with. I know what you're trying to say. This face is too cute to be natural, right? But I swear I never did anything to it. Who cares about that? Where's my mask? I feel naked without it. Don't look at me. I believe I just saw Sir Takumi taking your mask somewhere. Or Takamaru taking your mask somewhere. Grr, that bonehead. Give my mask back to me, Takamaru. She dashed out of the classroom, shrieking away. My, her actions are as adorable as her looks. We ought to let her run around like that for a while. Yoshika disappeared after saying that. Now alone in the classroom, I doubted I'd learned anything new by sticking around. I guess I should go too. It's terrible. Are they still in here? Oh, I can't go back in. Fine. Oh. I thought it was 6 people. I was very confused. You are my last person to go visit. The morgue. Hirako and Yugamu, what are you guys doing here? Nothing questionable. I just always feel calmer next to dead bodies. That is extremely questionable if you ask me. I do not know why, but I just found myself wanting to come here. Do normal people find themselves wanting to come to a morgue? That's a lot less questionable than coming to the morgue to feel calmer next to dead bodies. Even I can agree with that. Yugamu put his hand over his mouth and giggled. What about you? I told them I was investigating Gaku's murder case. I see. So you're here to re-examine the corpse. I doubt there's anything new to discover. Yeah, but it wouldn't hurt. With that, I started investigating Gaku's dead body again. I didn't make any new discoveries, just like Hirako said. What was the cause of death? Hemorrhagic shock. What about the murder weapon? A foot-long blade, the shape of the wound seemed to indicate a kitchen knife of sorts. Have you found the knife? Not yet. Wait a minute, why is Yugamu suddenly acting all detective-like? I'm just curious, don't mind me. Let me see, you already told us the estimated time of death when we were at second to last Defense Academy. Yes, between 1 and 4 a.m. on day 5. Before you ask, I was sleeping in my room at that time. What about you, Yugamu? What? What were you doing between the night of day 4 and the morning of day 5? Is that relevant to the case? I'm just trying to cover all the bases, please. Needless to say, I was in my room at second to last Defense Academy during that period of time. Or perhaps I should say, I was in dreamland, where I was sleeping like the dead. Ah, right. Why do you ask? Because... Are you hesitating to say it out loud? Then I will do so on your behalf, because you are an assassin, Yugamu. Ah, yes, that is certainly a reason to be suspicious. However, I am much chagrined. I do not revel in meaningless murder. Indiscriminate killing goes against my personal code. There is always the possibility that Gaku was someone special to you. Impossible. I have never met this Gaku when he was alive. Of course, I have no evidence to back that statement up. All I can do is plead for you to believe my words. I trust you. I didn't hesitate to answer because I had seen Yugamu and Gaku's relationship in the previous timeline. There was just no way they had met each other before this. His statement about not killing meaninglessly was quite possibly true as well. In the previous timeline, Yugamu never killed any of his allies, and never showed any indication that he wanted to. Your trust in me is heartening. He smiled a little as he said that. Well, I guess I'm done here then. Thanks for listening to me. After thanking them, I turned around and left. Slacker squad.
Huh?
Hey guys, what are you doing here? Listening to the calming sound of running water and trying to make ourselves as comfortable as possible. Comfortable, huh? What about you? No, actually. I told them I was investigating Gaku's murder case. Well, that's got nothing to do with us then, right? That Maruko kid was killed here between 1 and 4 a.m. on day 5. Both of us were at number 2 that day. Oh, just in case, number 2 was in second to last Defense Academy. Whole thing's too long to keep repeating, so I shortened it. We've also taken to calling this place number 1. Although its official name is the Last Defense Academy, shortening it to last sounded strange, so we settled on number 1 instead. Got it, thanks for explaining. Hey, are you suspecting us? Of course not. Actually, it's not completely impossible for one of us from number 2 to have done it. What? Any of us could have used the school bus to travel to and from here overnight. Oh, now that you mention it. Bedtime is at 11 p.m. Someone could have set off at midnight after everyone else had fallen asleep. If they pushed the bus to its limits, it would have taken about 3 hours to get here, putting their time of arrival at around 3 a.m. If they took only 30 minutes to finish the job, they could have left number 1 by 3:30 a.m. and returned to number 2 at around 6:30 a.m., just before the morning announcement at 7 a.m. Also, someone from number 2 coming here wouldn't have triggered the wall of fire's intruder alert. That's true. Wait, and you're telling me this as members of number 2 yourselves? Oh, sorry for shouting my mouth off like that. It's just, the incident doesn't quite feel as real to me because I've never met the victim. Just in case, I asked them what they were doing between 11 p.m. on day 4 and 7 a.m. on day 5. And as I had expected, their answers were the same. I was sleeping like a log in my room. Me too. What are you guys doing here? At my question, the 4 of them tensed up and looked at each other. Nothing in particular. We were just bored, that's all. There are lots of things we can use to relieve our boredom here. After hearing their reply, I informed them that I was investigating Gaku's murder case. They were taken aback. What? Are you out of your mind? Gaku was killed in the early morning on day 5. Almost 20 days have passed since then. Why now? Because you guys said you wouldn't trust me until I sniffed out the real culprit, remember? That mean you're suspicious of us? I didn't say that. It's actually much better if I can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that we're all innocent. The more people we can confirm are innocent, the sooner we can prove that the killer had never been one of us to begin with, right? I see your point, but I'm afraid that will be difficult to accomplish. Why? Nobody from Group 1 has a verifiable alibi. Oh, Group 1 is in the original members of the LDA Special Defense Unit. Whereas Group 2 refers to the 5 members from second to last Defense Academy. Wait, Sister Dearest, but you and I have ironclad alibis. Because we were sleeping together in the same room, that doesn't hold any water from an objective point of view. It is just as Hiriko said. The testimony of a sibling doesn't count. Miss Amamiya, you're distrustful of us too? Who said that? You're jumping the gun here. What if we looked at possible motives? Motives? Like, is there anyone among you who had something against Gaku? Takumi, are you really expecting someone to say yes to a question like that? Besides, as Mr. Ginzaki mentioned just now, Mr. Maruko was killed in the early morning on day 5. At that point, we'd only known each other for 4 days, hardly enough time to develop a grudge deep enough to stab someone that many times over. And that's the truth. Yeah, I guess. That's why I believe there's no point trying to solve this case by looking at motives. That murder was carried out by a lunatic. That's the only way for it to make any sense. Which means the prime suspect would be the craziest lunatic of us all, the man, the myth, the meme himself, Takumi.
Hey!
Why me? Because you killed Mr. Otsuki so easily, just like that. And without any proof. How many times do I have to explain he betrayed us in another future, and that's why... Would you say that to the police? Would that even hold up in a court of law? I killed him to stop him from carrying out a crime in the future. Does that sound like a good defense to you? It was the same old argument that wasn't worth repeating, so I didn't bother continuing. I simply sighed deeply, shook my head, and left. I haven't saved. Ever. Takumi, you've regained consciousness. Yeah. Though battling you was what caused me to faint in the first place. Sorry about that. You're actually apologizing to me? Why wouldn't I? You saved my life. I heard you were really standoffish to the others. That wasn't my intention. I merely said I wouldn't be sharing any information if Takumi wasn't here. It was pointless asking Ava for information about Gaku's murder case, so I asked her for information about the enemy instead. I'm here now. Tell me everything useful you know. Useful? Yeah, like the enemy HQ's location, invader types, number of troops, your war strategy. At that, Ava's face suddenly clouded over. I'm sorry, I'm feeling a little unwell. Feigning illness now. Give me a break. I'm not feigning, it's true. It wasn't what you promised. I came here alone like you asked, okay? Alone? Does it look like there's anyone else with me? No, that's not what I was wondering about. It's just, I never asked you to come alone. All I said was I would talk once Takumi was here. What do you mean? Whatever it is, I do not think I am able to talk. Please leave me for now. Ava was clearly feigning illness, but there was nothing I could do to make her talk. Her prison cell was locked. I won't be able to go inside without the key, and it's not like I can force her to spit out the information I wanted, even if I could.
Hey!
This is ridiculous. I cursed and kicked a pebble as I left the courtyard. I finished talking with everyone. Sadly, I didn't manage to unearth anything new. While nobody in number 1 had an alibi, they didn't have a motive either. Nothing's changed about this. But the 5 new members from number 2... I've realized any one of them could have been the culprit. They could have taken the school bus to and from number 1 and number 2 overnight. They could also enter without triggering the alarm. All this investigation had done was throw more names onto the suspect list. The murder weapon was still missing, and the killer left no trace at the scene of the crime. In short, there are 0 clues to go on. How do I even continue the investigation like this? I sighed and collapsed into bed. Good night. The day drew to a close and night slowly took over.
You never know when. Well then.
Siri's carefree voice faded into the darkness, only to be slowly taken over by a cold silence. It was in that silence that I found myself heading to a certain place. The courtyard. Where Ava was being held. I went closer to her cage and stopped just in front of it. Alchemy? Is something wrong? You look very tired. I'm not. You're just imagining things. Well then, why are you here? When Shoma was bringing food to me, he told me about Gaku. He also shared a lot of other things with me. I'm aware of your current predicament. You mustn't lie to yourself, Takumi.
Huh?
What? The truth is, you think the killer is among the 12 of you, right? No, I don't. Please, you can be honest with me. I won't tell anyone. I'm the only one you can remove as a suspect because I only arrived here 3 days ago. Literally impossible for me to have killed Gaku. If I had managed to slip in somehow without triggering the alarm, I wouldn't have stopped at Gaku. In short, I'm the only one in this school that you can trust right now. You've come here because deep inside you know that too, am I wrong? You may be right. The words spilled out of my mouth before I could stop myself. I couldn't even be sure if I had meant what I said. You and I are the same, Takumi. I don't trust my allies either. Especially not Veshness. Why is that? That battle 3 days ago, she was supposed to send reinforcements for me. But they never came. She was using me as bait. Bait? She nodded and continued talking. She should have seen me being caught from where she was located. But she didn't do anything, because that was her plan all along. Wait a minute, I thought Veshness was dead. That is what everyone seems to believe. But is it really true? I am of the opinion she is still alive somewhere out there. Takumi, here's the straight truth. There's a bomb inside my body. The detonator is on a joint on my left hand pinky finger. Moving it in a particular motion triggers an explosion. Anyone standing within a 25-yard radius at that time will be blown to smithereens. Please relax. I don't intend on going through with it. If I did, I would have done it a long time ago. Anyway, Veshness ordered me to do this. If you get caught, blow yourself up in front of everyone in the Special Defense Unit. I was not to humiliate myself by becoming a prisoner of war. But you didn't do that. My orders were to detonate in front of everyone. I was to blow up every single member of the Special Defense Unit. I didn't detonate the bomb when you apprehended me because the other 4 members were on the rooftop. I get it now. That's why you wouldn't offer any intel until I came. But you came alone, which defeated the purpose of the request. You were all supposed to come together. That was Veshness's plan, huh? Yes, to allow you to capture me before detonating, taking out everyone in one fell swoop. That's why she didn't send reinforcements. Ava clenched her jaw and lowered her head, her eyes brimming with tears. Okay, I understand the situation better now, but why are you sharing this top-secret plan with me? I wasn't lying when I said I was feeling unwell this afternoon. It was bothering me that much. I had to choose between lying to you and eventually killing everyone here, or telling you the truth and joining your side. The weight of that decision made me feel so ill, but in the end you decided to side with me. Yes, because I could never betray someone who saved my life. One more thing, your eyes, when I look into them, I sense something familiar. Something familiar? Solitude, it dwells within you. Those lonely eyes were what drew my heart to you. Her words weighed heavily on me. Felt like something I was trying desperately to keep hidden had been forcefully exposed. Yet, instead of panicking, I felt a strange sense of relief deep inside. I may have been unknowingly putting a barrier between myself and the others because of my suspicions. It truly felt like Ava was the only one I could open up to, because she was the only one I could say with absolute certainty didn't kill Gaku. By the way, aren't you going to ask me about our army? Nah, I'm not in the mood for that right now. I probably won't remember anything anyway. Then may I ask for a favor? Go on. Please, return my mask to me. Your mask? The mask I was wearing on the battlefield. My people highly value our masks. We consider them as a part of us. Without it, I feel exposed. Fine, your mask, right. Yes, thank you so much. After leaving Ava, I went back to my room. I had mixed feelings about our conversation. A chaotic mix of slight relief, intense guilt, and great confusion.
Hey!
With a loud cry, I jumped into bed and resigned myself to a sleepless night ahead. Is she gonna die?
Get prepared. Be ready to give your...
After waking up to the usual morning announcement, I walked out of my room straight into Tsubasa. Morning, Takumi. Heading to breakfast? Yeah, hey, can I ask you something? What is it? You know what happened to Ava's mask? Ava's mask? Yeah, that thing she was wearing on the battlefield before she revealed her true face. Oh, that. It's being kept somewhere in the garage. Great, thanks, I'll go grab it later. Immediately after saying that, the door to the stairwell flung open and Kyoshika came charging over. She quickly ran over to us with a strained look on her face and said, Something disturbing has been discovered in the classroom on the first floor. Something? Disturbing? You must come immediately. Everyone else is already on their way. I followed Tsubasa and Kyoshika to the classroom on the first floor, dashing inside upon arrival. What? No way. Not again. It was a repeat of day 4. Somebody had used red spray paint to write something on the digital blackboard again. The only difference was the content of the text. This time it said, "Let's play a killing game." Who found it first? Was I. Upon discovering this foul scene, I immediately set off to inform everybody of it. What were you doing here in the first place? Ah, yes, well, I had wished to retrieve Lady Karara's mask before breakfast. It had been left on the ceiling catwalk since you flung it there yesterday. Yoshika, you shall pay for this later. Karara was already wearing her mask. She must have retrieved it before the rest of us came running in. Who would write something like this? Isn't it obvious? It's the same bastard who wrote the last threat, the same one who killed Gaku. Are you sure? The handwriting seems a little different. Yeah, most of that is... Actually, all of it is capitals. My dear sister's sharp perception pierces through everything. So someone else wrote this? Who? Wait, could it be Ava? No, I don't think that's possible. When I delivered breakfast to her just now, her cage was properly locked. Who has the key? I do. It's the only copy in existence. Also, there is a special IC chip embedded inside that makes it impossible to duplicate. We can think about the author later. I'm more curious what this killing game is supposed to refer to. Which part of killing game is so hard to understand? It's a game where you kill or be killed. It still doesn't make sense. Who plays? What are the rules? Where? How? When? Why? Suddenly, Shoma raised his voice. Everybody, look, there's something on the teacher's desk. This looks like a tape recorder. I guess we should listen to it. I pressed play and an eerie-sounding voice came out of the recorder.
The game has officially begun. Like the blackboard says, let's all play a killing game together. The name of this game is The Invader Hunt.
The message continued. Anyone willing to participate should gather in the leisure lounge at 7 p.m. All who refuse to join the game will be eliminated. That is all. With those eerie words, the voice stopped. Silence prevailed. We could have heard a pin drop. We were all frowning, although nobody said anything. The last note hadn't been a prank. Kirei was destroyed and Gaku was murdered. This note could have been written by the same person. His last words especially kept echoing loudly in my mind. All who refuse to join the game will be eliminated. By the way, Kako, you mentioned something about the handwriting of this message being different from the last. Maybe the culprit deliberately changed it? We should keep that possibility in mind. Too soon to be jumping to conclusions about two different culprits when the MO's the same. So, Gaku's murderer's on the move again? Basically, this could be from the same person who killed Gaku. If so, we might be able to find their true identity by joining the game. But that option came with major risks. The monster who destroyed Sirei and slaughtered Gaku was behind it after all. Join the game despite the risks or try to keep everyone as safe as possible. We had until 7 p.m. to decide what to do, but it didn't seem prudent to delay our decision until the last minute. We had to stay united, all of us. For that to happen, I had to clearly express my opinion on the matter first, as team leader. But what was our best option? Should we join the game, or ignore it completely? I thought long and hard about what to say, and then I made my decision. I mean, are we not just gonna die? Give me the bad ending, of which apparently very few exist.
Guys, here's what I think. I'm not going to join this invader hunt thing.
Right, of course not. A rational decision. I hope you can all follow my lead in this. I know I will. There's nothing to be afraid of if we all reject it together. Hey, don't speak for everyone just yet. What, you mean you're joining? Of course, I'll never get a chance to live out my fantasies like this again. Besides, the name Invader Hunt makes the game sound like it's going to be an absolute blast. I'm with Takumi on this one. You'll find me playing that game over my dead body. This Invader Hunt is just the culprit trying to trick us into believing it'll be fun, but it's clearly stated on the blackboard that this is a killing game. The recording said as much too. I'll follow Takumi's lead as well. It's against my artistic principles to kill for entertainment. This message doesn't make sense anyway. The sponsor said those not in the game will be eliminated, but we'd still get eliminated sooner or later if we did join. Don't be stupid. Nobody has to die if we win, right? Right? Darumi, are you listening to yourself? You're talking this I love killing games persona. Or you're taking this I love killing games persona a little too far, aren't you? I am not. I'm just saying what I really think. Darumi's pigtails swayed as she vigorously shook her head in denial, but there was definitely some uncertainty in her eyes. What about you, Hiroko? You haven't said anything yet. Either choice is fine with me. What do you mean? I'm not interested in this game at all. I am, however, interested in finding out the sponsor's identity. They'll make their move eventually, whether we join this silly game or not. That's when we'll swoop in and bring that sicko down, right? That's more or less what I was thinking. Then we have an answer. Yes, we're not going to join the invader hunt. Darumi, you don't mind, do you? I do mind, but it's not like I can play a killing game by myself. Fine. Fine, I'll go with the majority. Don't worry, we'll get to that line eventually. After that, we decided to stay together until the stipulated time. We didn't know what might happen, and there was always the possibility the sponsor was actually one of us. Staying together meant we could prevent the sponsor from trying anything. I didn't tell anyone about the second reason, though. They all seemed convinced the sponsor was an outsider who had infiltrated the school. Well, they were acting like they thought that anyway. The sky turned dark as we whiled our time away. Finally, it was 7 p.m., the time mentioned on the voice recorder. That was when I threw the door to the leisure lounge open. Not because I wanted to join the game, of course. I was there to declare as team leader that none of us would be joining. Everyone else stood outside just in case. Turning around, I could see the others trying to peer in through the door, which was slightly ajar. There was nobody inside the room, not even a faint presence. After looking around, I lifted my head to the ceiling and shouted, "Hey, are you there? Can you see me? I'm here to tell you none of us will be joining your stupid invader hunt." No response at all. Have it your way. That's all I wanted to say. Have a bad night. After that cold farewell, I turned around and stepped out of the leisure lounge. Oh boy, you really said it, and after the sponsor said they'd kill us all if we refused to play the game. Don't say I didn't warn you. Would we be okay? Gaku got killed the last time we did this. But that killer fled and went outside the wall of fire, right? Most likely, yeah. That's why the sponsor of this game probably isn't one of us. Kako even said this morning that the handwriting was different this time. I can't be completely sure because they use spray paint. If the sponsor wasn't the one who killed Gaku, there's also the possibility this entire thing was just a prank. So we need not be unnecessarily shaken. That's if the sponsor wasn't the killer. The truth of the matter remains to be seen. Everybody fell momentarily silent after that. Question, what's the plan for tonight? Plan. Our sleeping arrangements. Where should we all spend the night? I'm definitely sleeping in my dear sister's room. I'll stay with Takamaru. No way. What? You don't trust Takumi even after he saved my life. You and me are through, man. But... The Tsukumo twins aside, why don't we sleep in our own rooms like normal? Just lock the door and you'll be fine. I agree. There are 13 people here. Making everyone sleep in pairs would leave one person out. Alright, but why not put that person with one of the other pairs? We should avoid having 3 people in one room. It's too risky. Risky? Why? Not again. Our team's already discussed this to death, and now I have to repeat myself. Despite her complaint, Hiroko carefully explained to those from the other academy why we decided having 3 people in a room together was a bad idea. That does make sense. We should all go back to our own rooms, then. No, you've just triggered the mother of all death plagues, and you don't even know it. Well, anything to spice things up around here. That decided, we all returned to our own rooms to sleep after dinner. Ima insisted on sleeping in Kako's room, but nobody protested on that point.
Up and at 'em, troops! Time! Get ready, prepare, be ready to give your...
In the morning, I headed to the cafeteria for breakfast, only to find that everyone else was already there. Everyone? 1, 3, 9... Oh my, how is it that I count 14 souls? Because you're terrible at math, there are only 13 people here. You see, nothing bad happened, so it was just a prank after all. But by who? And for what purpose? You're asking me, I think the most likely suspect is... We all turned to look at Darumi. Well, wait a minute. You're accusing me of being the game's sponsor? I don't think so. Darumi doesn't have the guts to pull off something like that. You underestimate me. I may not have guts, but I've still got my brain mates. They're small and overpowered, but they're there all the same. Oh, for the love of murder. Hey, can't we just be happy that nothing happened? Please excuse me for exposing you to my foul-smelling dumpster breath, but why don't we all have breakfast together? After breakfast, we all headed off to do our own things, relieved that nothing bad had happened after all. As for me, I went back to my room. Almost immediately, a visitor came knocking. I opened the door to find Tsubasa standing outside.
Huh?
Did something happen? You asked about Ava's mask yesterday, remember? I brought it here for you. Oh, thanks. Sorry for the trouble. I took the mask from her. What are you going to do with that? I was thinking of returning it to Ava. What, you trust her now?
Huh?
Not really, it's just... Oh, I know, you fell in love with her. What, of course not. Tsubasa narrowed her eyes at me and I felt my palms get sweaty. Never mind, it's none of my business. Everyone's free to love who they want. I told you that's not it. But since we're talking about the mask, I looked it over out of curiosity and found something pretty interesting. That mask isn't an ordinary accessory, it actually comes installed with a bunch of high-tech features. Infrared night vision, zoom functions, organic life detection. There's even a miniature air tank inside that allows it to turn into a gas mask. Using that air tank, the wearer can survive completely shut off from the outside world for as long as 30 minutes. That's amazing. It almost sounds like it'd be a waste to give it back to Ava. You wouldn't be able to use it, Takumi. It's custom made to fit a specific shape. Ava's the only one who can wear it. I guess I might as well give it back after all. Even with the best technology in the world, she can't possibly harm any of us inside that cage, right? Tsubasa thought about it for a while before nodding in agreement. By the way, when's she gonna give us more information about the enemy? She did promise to be useful if we spared her life. I actually think it'd be best if we could get her to join us as an ally. Ally? Yeah, so that she can fight in defensive battles along with us. We'd need some kind of safety measure before allowing her to cut loose, of course. Like a collar with the bomb, maybe. That should put everyone at ease, right? If she tries to run or do anything funny, all we have to do is stop her. All we have to do to stop her is press a button to activate the bomb. The bulb lit up in my mind as Tsubasa was speaking. Tsubasa, let's say there was already a self-destruction device in Ava's body. Would it be possible for someone else to activate it? It depends on how the bomb was built. If the detonation mechanism was designed to be triggered remotely, then maybe. In that case, your plan might actually work. The detonator is on a joint on my left hand pinky finger. Moving it in a particular motion triggers an explosion. Wait, you were being serious? You weren't just speaking hypothetically? You think there's something you can do? You want me to create a detonation device for the bomb inside her? Yes, once it's done, we'll have the perfect safety measure. And then we can allow Ava to join us, huh? Alright, I'll give it a shot. Awesome, I'm counting on you. After Tsubasa left, I went to look for Hiroko to get the key from her. The key that would open Ava's cage. I walked into the courtyard, her mask in hand. Takumi. Here you go, as promised. That's my mask. Sure is. I opened the cage using the key Hiroko gave me. After handing Ava's mask to her, I closed the door and locked it again. Thank you, Takumi. I don't know what to say. No need, just keeping my promise. Well, I'll be seeing you. I turned around, giving a casual wave as I walked away. I'm back in my room, but now what?
Huh?
There's nothing for me to do here. I may as well go take a walk around school. Wow, we did a lot in, That's the wrong thing. Just a little bit of morning. Who do I want to level up? Wait, since when does it say that down there? Is that new? Or am I just blind? And it's said it forever now. Oh, can't actually do anything with Ava yet. Celebrity tool. Yeah, silverware. Okay, here you go.
How did you know something like this would please me? Are you that in love with me?
Sure, crazy. How was that the last one that I leveled up? Bleed. Ooh, gets 1 armor from that. That one's kinda nice. Right, we already looked at her. Could level up her more. Yeah, I think we will. Wow, 4. Crazy. Oh, I didn't actually see 1 more damage. I don't think it gave 1 more damage, actually. This one will be nice. More range. More voltage. Not that I care about voltage at that point. Yep, that's a nice improvement there. Might as well just unlock these as well. Says spinning attack, but it's just in front. 6 damage though, that's crazy. This one pushes him back. See, it's nice, but I also never attack with them, actually. Now, Kako. We'll just level her up. All of it. That goes really nice for damage. On attack. We're definitely done after her, though. We are using up resources too fast. Oh, that's really nice there. There we go. That's a good portion of them all leveled. Back here, let's give out a gift again. Exercise accessory. I should save, just to be safe. Yeah, that sounds about right.
How did you know something like this would please me? Are you that in love with me?
Oh, that didn't level her up.
You never know. Well then.
Good night. I went to bed after an uneventful day. No, it only seemed uneventful. Something may have been brewing behind the scene without me noticing. But since I had no way of ascertaining that, I decided to simply go to bed and embrace sleep for the night. Ding dong, bing bong.
Get ready. Prepare. Be ready to give your...
I woke up as the morning announcement played. It had barely finished when a piercing scream resounded in my ears. I jumped out of bed and dashed out of my room. Hiroko, Tsubasa, and Takamaru were out on the roof already. Was that Shoma just now? Yeah, I came running out when I heard it. I was already here when she came out. The scream came from the back of the building. Are you sure? Trust me, I've got a dog's hearing. Okay, go. We made our way down the stairs as quickly as we could and headed for the back of the school. It didn't take long for us to reach our destination, where we saw...
Shoma!
I rushed over to check his pulse and breathing.
Nothing. He's dead.
No way!
By this time, other team members had come running as well. It was Nozomi, Moko, Kyoshika, Yugamu, and Kurara. They gasped and their eyes went wide when they saw Shoma's body.
Shoma!
Impossible.
What is this? Is he breathing?
No, unfortunately.
Get your act together. It's too early to give up. We just heard him screaming. He can't have been dead longer than 10 minutes.
Right. We can use the Revive-O-Matic to bring him back.
Let's get him to the infirmary! Yes!
But just one moment.
The hell?
Sir Ima, Lady Kako, and Lady Darumi have not shown up yet.
Hey, you're right.
Maybe they woke up early and went to the cafeteria first?
Even so, they should have heard the scream. Weird that they didn't come running like the rest of us.
This isn't the time to discuss that. Get Shoma to the infirmary now.
Yeah, I'll carry him there on my back. I don't know how to work the Revivomatic, though.
I'll come with you. The rest of you can go look for Ima, Kako, and Darumi.
Very suspicious that it's the people that didn't want to fight. Takamaru put Shoma on his back and immediately ran off to the infirmary with Tsubasa. The rest of us then split up to look for Ima, Kako, and Darumi. Since the person who attacked Shoma could still be lurking nearby, we split into teams for safety. I partnered up with Hiroko. We decided to start with the cafeteria. We made our way there as soon as we could, but there was nobody else inside. Ima, Kako, Darumi, anybody there? No response. Looks like they're not here. Yes, let's try somewhere else. Turning around, we dashed down the hallway toward the gym. But when we got there... Hey, I can't open the door. Is it locked? I peered through the small opening in the slightly ajar door. There's a latch. Someone latched the door from inside. Hiroko and I looked at each other nervously, neither daring to breathe. We're gonna have to break the door down. You're right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. The door refused to budge, even after we threw ourselves against it numerous times. Soon the noise we were making started attracting the others to the gym as well. We need some help here, guys. What we were trying to do was obvious enough that we didn't have to explain. Everyone nodded and took a couple of steps back and prepared to charge the door. Ready, go! The latch broke apart with a cracking sound and we all tumbled into the gym together. And lying on the floor in front of us...
Kako!
This is...
unbelievable.
I ran to Kako and put a finger on her neck. There was no pulse. She was deathly cold. Hiroko came from behind me and started examining Kako's body. Once she had finished, she turned to look at the others and silently shook her head.
But it's okay. She couldn't have been dead for too long, like Shoma. Then we should take her to the infirmary now.
Yeah.
Nozomi ran over to Kako and lifted her up. As she did, something fell out from Kako's right hand. What's this? A medicine bottle? By the time I noticed it, Nozomi had already run out of the gym, carrying Kako's body. As the rest of us started to leave, Hiroko suddenly spoke up. Wait, Gamu, you go with Nozomi. Oko, Kyoshika, Karara, continue looking for Ima and Darumi, and Takumi, you stay here. What? Why? Just do as I say for now. I'll explain later. Alright. Let us be off at once. The others nodded at each other and then ran toward the hallway. Leaving only Hiroko and myself at the scene of the crime. Why only me? There's only one exit here, and it was latched shut. I turned to look at the exit. Lying on the floor nearby was a mop that had been broken into 3 pieces. The mop handle had been used as a makeshift latch. It would be impossible for someone to latch the door like that from outside, which means this incident happened in a locked room. Assuming this is true, there are 2 possibilities I can think of. Can you guess what they are? I answered hesitantly. The first possibility is that, as much as I hate to say it, Kako killed herself, right? Yes, look at the bottle that dropped from her hand. What does the label say? ETX. It's an abbreviation for tetrodotoxin. It's extremely poisonous. Swallowing just 1 or 2 milligrams is fatal. Are you saying Kako drank this? I don't know, but we'll have time to think about that later. The other possibility is the more pressing one. Because if Kako didn't take the poison herself, it didn't take me long to make the connection. The killer is still hiding somewhere in the gym. Yes, if there is a killer, that is. That's why I told you to stay behind. Alright, let's look around. Hiroko and I searched the gym as cautiously as we could. Despite leaving no stone unturned, we didn't find anyone hiding anywhere. This makes it clear that Kako took her own life. Does it, though? Shoma was found sliced up at the back of the building around the same time. Don't you find it strange that somebody killed him while Kako killed herself? No, there's something strange about that if Kako had been the one to kill Shoma. After stabbing him to death, she ran into the gym, blocked the door with the mop handle, and ingested the poison to kill herself? I decided to state my opinion objectively, even though I really didn't want to say those words out loud. Maybe, but that one makes sense if Kako died before Shoma. Remember how Kako felt when you touched her body? Yes, she'd already gone completely cold. I noticed it too. It's probably been several hours since she died. So Kako killed herself sometime last night, and then somebody killed Shoma sometime this morning. Or Kako was also murdered. That's a possibility as well. How is that possible when the door was latched from the inside? Wait, there's something more important here. Kako had already been dead for a few hours. Yes, I'm afraid it's already too late for her. Oh no. Tsubasa, Nozomi, and Yugamo were in the infirmary when Hiroko and I arrived. They were standing around with grave looks on their faces. How were Shoma and Kako? Well, we managed to successfully revive Shoma. That's great. Yes, what a relief. But he's still unconscious. His physical body has been restored to full health, but it seems he hasn't recovered mentally from the attack yet. Where is he? Sleeping in his room. Takamaro's taking care of him. And what about Kako? We did put her body in the revival medic, but alas. Hiroko and I went behind the revival-matic to look at the monitor. What was written on the screen made our hearts sink. Cause of death: respiratory paralysis-induced asphyxiation. Estimated time of death: day 27 between 1 and 4 a.m. Wow, same numbers again. Traces of TTX poison detected in body. Oral intake of TTX presumed to have led to respiratory paralysis-induced asphyxiation. No external injuries found on body. Too much time has passed since death. Impossible to revive. The silence of the room was broken by the door being thrown open and 3 people running in. Darumi, you're safe. Where were you all this time? In the rec room playing slots. You were doing what? You can't blame me. I overslept this morning and didn't see anyone in the cafeteria. I just assumed everyone was off doing their own thing. Yoshika and I found her in the rec room and dragged her here. We've already told her about Shoma and Kako. Still, we didn't yet know if they'd been successfully revived, so here we are. Did it go well? Just then, 2 other people barged into the room noisily. Miss Osuzuki told me about what happened. I fell asleep in my dear sister's room last night, but when I woke up, she was nowhere to be found. I've been looking around for her ever since. Saw him running around the hallway like a headless chicken and brought him here. Where is my dear sister? What has happened to her? I explained the situation to everyone who had just arrived. The news that Kako could no longer be revived hit everyone like a ton of bricks. Tears started welling up in Moko and Kyoshika's eyes, while Kurara was sniffling away under her mask. Darumi alone shed no tears. She had a vacant look on her face as she stared absently into space. And as for Ima...
No!
dear sister.
With an anguished cry, the distraught Ema lost control of all reason and started lashing out. We managed to wrestle him to the ground and pin his limbs down, even as he struggled violently.
Wait here while I go grab the gamma feel.
What's that?
A powerful anesthetic. We have some in the biolab.
Yugamu dashed off as quickly as he could. He came back a while later with the gamma feel, which he then injected into Ema. The drug caused Ema to weaken and slump over. Yugamu observed him
All
closely.
is fine now. He's unlikely to wake up before tomorrow morning.
We moved the unconscious Ema to his room and assigned Moko to watch over him. After that, we took Kako's body to the morgue. There were now 3 bodies lying on tables in the morgue. Kako's body was the smallest. I kept staring at her. When I closed my eyes, I could still see her innocent smile. I couldn't believe the girl I had thought of like my own little sister was now gone. An indescribable ache spread through my chest at that thought. Unable to stand the pain, I forced myself to look away. After that, we went to the courtyard to check the cages. Ava was still inside hers, the door securely locked. Hiroko and I went on to tell the others what we'd learned from investigating the gym. The improvised latch, the bottle of poison, and how there had been no one else there. Or no one else inside. While we were talking, the sun had set and the darkness of night was slowly taking over. It was already evening. Since nobody was in the mood for a meal, we gathered in the leisure lounge instead of the cafeteria. Sir Takamaru, were you not supposed to be attending to Sir Shoma? Yugamu took over. Shoma's still out cold, but he's physically fine now. I just don't understand why Kako would kill herself. As I've already explained, we don't know for sure that it was suicide. We haven't found a suicide note, not in the gym, on her clothes, or in her room yet. But the gym door was latched shut from the inside. And you didn't find anyone else in there, correct? Yes, but I find it hard to accept Kako had killed herself, when Shoma was clearly killed by someone else. Why would she even do such a thing? I won't be fully convinced until a clear reason surfaces. I think she was murdered too, by that sponsor who was trying to get us to join the invader hunt. They did warn us this would happen. We all heard what that recording said, remember? All who refuse to join the game will be eliminated. All who refuse, that means the rest of us are targets too. You're telling us that sponsor wants to kill us all? The first threatening message said something about everyone dying too. It sure did. The first and second threats, we assumed they were written by different people because of the handwriting. But I'm starting to think it was the same person after all. We went against the first note. We ignored their demand to leave the academy and chose to stay behind instead. That gave the culprit an idea. I'll hold a killing game and force those guys to murder each other. But when we went against the second request as well, they decided they were going to have to do it themselves. And by it, you mean killing us. Yep, it all makes sense when you think of it. This way doesn't. Think of it this way, doesn't it? That would mean the perpetrator has already murdered 4 people. 4. Sir Gaku, Lady Kako, Sire, and Sir Shoma. Though Sir Shoma was lucky enough to escape the jaws of death. So we're up against a ruthless serial killer here. Can't just let someone butcher our friends and get away scot-free. But how do we find them? Haven't I mentioned this before? The killer may well be one of us. Everyone tensed up at Hiroko's words and started exchanging suspicious glances. Not everyone is a suspect, though. It would have been impossible for Takumi, Tsubasa, Takamaru, or me to have done this. How can you be so sure? Oh, that's right, the four of us met each other on the rooftop this morning, immediately after hearing Shoma's scream. He was stabbed at the back of the building, even if we could teleport. There's no way we could have appeared on the rooftop right after slicing him up that badly. He wasn't thrown down the rooftop after being stabbed either. His body hadn't taken any fall damage. Oh, okay. There goes my thought. I thought what happened was he screamed down the building as he was being stabbed and they tossed him over. But no, he was just down there already. Bright and early for some reason. Just a moment. What if all four of you were working together? Yes, it would definitely seem possible from your point of view. That would also mean 1 in 3 of our team are killers. I don't think the SDU would be worth much then. That line of reasoning isn't strong enough to prove you're innocent. Anyway, what were the rest of you doing at that time? I remember those who came after us were Nozomi, Kyoshika, and Karara. Moko and Yugamu too, though they aren't here right now. Where did you guys come from? I ran from the entrance hall. I simply found myself in a group as I was heading to the back of the building. How did you know to go there? Well, I heard Shoma's scream, but I chose to wait in my room first before making a move. Then I overheard you guys talking outside. You said something about the scream coming from the back of the building, remember? So I followed you to the scene of the crime. Nozomi and Darumi said the same thing, but I couldn't tell if they were telling the truth. Whatever the case, there was no denying the perpetrator could have joined up with the group halfway through without anyone realizing. Our suspicions are misplaced, especially when there is a much likelier suspect to cast aspersions on. Yes, someone who didn't even show up at the crime scene. Huh, wait, you mean me? You were totally trying to get us all to join that stupid killing game. So when we refused to cave after the second threat, you decided to... It wasn't me. I had nothing to do with that threat. I overslept, that's all. We all shot Darumi deeply suspicious looks. Her dismay and bewilderment were palpable. Beads of sweat rolled down her face, making her makeup run. Hey, can I say something? I think it's counterproductive for us to be doubting each other like this. How are we going to handle future battles if we can't even stay united? Calm down and think about things rationally. Under normal circumstances, the probability of the killer being an outsider is a lot higher than the alternative. But would an outsider be able to slip in without triggering the alarm? Well, that's... Maybe it was Ava. Impossible. We checked the cage just now, remember? She was still inside and the gate was properly locked. Not only that, I have the key right here. This is the only key and it can't be duplicated, as Hiroko said. Also, I locked my door last night so nobody could have stolen the key from me while I was asleep. What if you were working with her? I can debunk that theory. Takumi has been with me since morning. Even if he had led Ava out of her cage last night to stab Shoma, he couldn't have locked it back up this morning without my knowledge. You need the key to lock the cage just as much as you need it to unlock it. That means it's one of us. No, it can't be. There has to be a way for someone to come in without triggering the alarm. There's always the possibility that nobody slipped in at all. What are you saying? I'm saying the killer could have already been hiding in the academy before the first team was dispatched here. That's true. If they were here already, they wouldn't have triggered the alarm. So that person's still hiding somewhere in this school right now. All of a sudden, Tsubasa raised her voice. I know, I can make an organic life detection device. Organic life detection device? Put simply, it's a machine that detects the number of large living organisms on school grounds. It won't be advanced enough to pinpoint their exact locations, but having a precise number should tell us if there's really an invader hiding here. You can make something like that? I found a similar function while investigating Ava's mask 2 days ago. I took the opportunity to study it thoroughly. Oh yes, I can make something like that in 7 days, maybe? 7 days. Until then, let's stop being suspicious of each other like Nozomi suggested. We'll assume that the killer is an outsider until proven wrong. What do you guys say? Everyone nodded in agreement. The moment I saw that, the world around me started to spin. What is this? That was the last thought on my mind before it shut down completely. Oh.
Get ready for your prepare to be ready to give your lives to protect.
We're just skipping all the days. I woke up to the now all too familiar sight of Nozomi sitting right in front of me. It was deja vu time. She noticed right away that I was awake and leapt to her feet with an ear-piercing scream. She scuttled frantically around the room a few times more than the last before finally coming to a stop. And then she just stood there, in a daze. I watched the entire scene play out before sitting up. What day is it today? Day 39. I fainted on the night of 27, so I've been out for 11 days. Yes, we're almost out of emergency feeding drips. Why did I lose consciousness? I didn't get stabbed on day 27, and my old wound didn't reopen. Nozomi regarded me with a somber look on her face as I mumbled to myself, then she gave me the diagnosis. We think you have the fainting disease. Fainting disease? Also known as psychogenic pseudosyncope. A disease that causes you to suddenly lose consciousness after being exposed to strong psychological shock or stress. Like your mind just blows up. Blows out. I have a disease like that? Yes, after what happened to Shoma and Kako on day 27. Your mind suffered a heavy blow, and even though you somehow made it to nighttime okay, the moment you felt like you could relax, your mind completely shut down, just like that. How could you tell I had this disease? This is the third time you fainted out of the blue, right? And it always takes you a long time to regain consciousness. This didn't seem like normal behavior, so we decided to scan your brain. Using the Revival-Madic's diagnosis function. I don't remember contracting any disease like that. This is what the machine's analysis said. Traces of treatment found on damaged parts of the brain. Fainting disease likely developed as after effect. Treatment on damaged parts of my brain? I don't know what exactly happened. At any rate, the damage isn't life-threatening and doesn't affect your cognitive functions or your judgment. So that part's nothing to worry about, at least. Easy for you to say. This means I could faint again if something stressful happens, right? Yes, but I'm sure it'll be alright. As long as we make sure nothing too stressful happens again. So, has anything changed? Changed? Like, have you guys learned anything about the killer while I was out? No, we haven't made any progress in that area. The unknown killer remains at large and we don't have a single clue to follow. Nobody's been attacked since then, so we're still alive at least. What about Shoma and Ima? Shoma's regained consciousness already, but he said he doesn't know who stabbed him. You can ask him about it for yourself later. And Ima, he's barricaded himself in his room and hasn't said much to us. Just a word or two when we deliver food to him. Needless to say, he didn't fight in the defensive battle that happened on day 33. Ima, Shoma, and Darumi sat out the battle as usual. Are those three still suspicious of me? Yes, they seem to think you're the most likely suspect. But even if you weren't the one, it had to be someone from the SDU. That's what those three believe. Nozomi and I headed to the cafeteria together, where everyone except Ima, Shoma, and Darumi were gathered. When they saw me, they said things like, "You're awake," or "Thank goodness." Everyone was quietly rejoicing about seeing me on my feet again. The reactions were a lot more subdued than before. I could hardly blame them. This was the third time I'd woken up after losing consciousness for several days. At least, that was what I thought. Turned out they had another reason to be despondent. The dark, gloomy aura that hung over the group indicated there was something more at play here. I finished breakfast and returned to my room. Soon after, Tsubasa came knocking. You saw how dejected everyone seemed just now, right? Wanna know why? Sure. She pulled out something from behind her back. What's this? The organic life detection device. Oh, right, you finished it. 5 days ago, yeah. But now I wish I hadn't. Why not? Because this is the reason everyone's jumping at shadows. She turned the device on as she spoke. 13. Yep, the total number of life forms in this academy. That's all of us, including Ava. Which means there are no outsiders in this school, and the culprit is really one of us. Yeah, that's what everyone believes now, except for me and Nozomi, that is. You two still think it was an outsider that did it? I don't know, but the killer could have fled outside after stabbing Shoma, right? The possibility of that happening seemed low to me, but I forced myself not to voice those doubts. Anyway, that's why everyone's so down. Basically, it's because they're all suspicious of one another. This isn't going to end well. Without trust, we won't be able to put up a united front during the next defensive battle. Can't you do something, Takumi? I'll do what I can to help as well. Just tell me what you need. Oh, I just remembered. I finished that other thing you asked me to make a while ago, too. What thing? You know, the remote detonator that'll trigger the bomb in Ava's body. I managed to complete it after carefully investigating her body, with her consent, of course. Tsubasa rummaged through her pocket and took out something that looked like a remote control. I took it and gripped it tightly in my hand. Thanks, this puts me at ease. I'll probably add Ava to the team starting from the next battle. Yeah, that should help out our combat power. The problem is getting the others to trust her. Oh well, I've done my part. The rest is up to you. With that, she left the room. Up to me, huh? How should I do this? What was it Tsubasa said before? The killer could have fled outside after stabbing Shoma? To be honest, I didn't think they did. I had no concrete proof, but everything that had happened so far felt like part of a larger scheme that someone was orchestrating. At the very least, I was convinced the culprit wasn't going to stop at Shoma's stabbing. In that case, excluding myself, the killer must be one of the other 12 students at this academy. Oh, wait. Shoma was a victim. If Hiroko, Tsubasa, Takumaru, and Ava were also innocent, that leaves just 7 suspects. Darumi, Nozomi, Kyoshika, Yugamu, Moko, Ima, and Karara. I'd never willingly choose to treat any of my friends as suspects, but as it turns out, I don't have a choice right now. I won't gain everyone's trust until I identify the real culprit. And if I don't have their trust, the SDU would fall apart and everyone would be annihilated by the invaders. The only way to prevent that from happening is to reveal the identity of the killer. You must solve this future case yourself, Takumi. That was what the boy with the undying flame said. He must have known something like this would happen. At any rate, This was the only way of resolving all this that I could think of. I have to find the culprit no matter what. I clenched my fist and resolved to devote myself to the investigation. Wonderful. My voice is giving out. We're getting hoarse at least, and water's not helping. So, we're gonna be done. Let's find someone to raid. Sure. We'll raid this goober. Alright, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow should be another stream, assuming my voice isn't completely dead. Might skip 100 line. If I can help it. With my voice kinda getting rough. It's not the best game, but who knows? Otherwise, maybe Fantasy Life, or I do want to go back to Pal World sometime. But, for now, I don't have anything else. We've started our new line and made a couple choices. It's definitely much better than the comedy. But for now, I must send us off, so thank you guys for hanging out, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, morning. And I'll see you guys next time.